This song was banned by the authorities, yet it still sold millions of copies around the world. Behind these anthems lie incredible stories that very few people know. Today we're going to discover the 10 best-selling rock songs of the 1970s, and one of them still generates millions of dollars every year. Let's begin. Number 10. Hotel California by Eagles. Can a song transport you to a feeling? Hotel California is a one-way ticket into a movie scene, putting the top down and crossing the desert as the neon lights, the shouting, and the turmoil of Los Angeles fade behind you. Written by Don Felder, Glenn Frey, and Don Henley, the song begins with a guitar arpeggio that became the soundtrack of an entire generation. The rich, powerful voice of Eagles drummer Don Henley does not enter until the 50-second mark. Although the lyrics have inspired countless interpretations, Henley sees the song as the logbook of a journey from youthful innocence to the emptiness left behind by success and excess. An attempt to expose both the extravagance and the hidden side of the American dream. None of the songwriters were from California, which is why the song looks at the state from the outside, through the eyes of someone arriving there rather than someone born there. Hotel California topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 1 week in May 1977 and sold 3 million copies worldwide. Not only that, but the Eagles have performed it live more than 1,000 times. Hotel California is the rock and roll version of the American dream turned into a song, an invitation to dream of California, the desert, and rock music. Number 9. Heart of Glass by Blondie. Remarkably, a New York punk band playing disco music reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Had Blondie sold out and betrayed the new wave scene, or was the song simply too good not to exist? When Debbie Harry and Chris Stein wrote Heart of Glass, they simply called it the disco song. They would play it live during their punk sets just to rile up the audience. Of course, being truly punk means always wanting to make people uncomfortable. And that is the spirit of this song, which blended genres long before doing so became popular. What they never expected was for that experiment, with its true-to-life lyrics about a stalker, to become a runaway hit. Heart of Glass topped the charts in the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, Switzerland, and Germany. It sold 3 million records around the world. It is a song that defies classification, with an infectious melody and a breathless rhythm that proved to the world that a punk band could make millions of people dance too. Number 8. Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is a band that has transcended every decade it has passed through. Each new generation that discovers them carries them back to the top. From being the strange new faces with wild hairstyles in the 1970s, to becoming global stars in the 80s and undisputed progressive rock legends from the 90s onward, they have always remained one step ahead of everyone else. The Wall was a rock opera, but this song began as nothing more than a transition. It ran for just over a minute and had only one chorus and one verse. Producer Bob Ezrin wanted the band to extend it, but they refused. So once they left the studio, he asked engineer Nick Griffiths to record a children's choir at a school in Islington. After adding the choir to the original track, he played it first for Waters and then for Gilmore. And simply by doubling what they already had, they created a hit that remains as powerful as ever. In addition to the choir, Ezrin suggested the disco-style bass line that became the backbone of the hit. The authorities hated it for its biting criticism of the British education system of the time, but fans embraced it as a banner of freedom. Another brick in the wall went on to sell 4 million records worldwide, establishing itself as a timeless anthem and one of Pink Floyd's best-known songs. If these songs shaped your life the way they shaped mine, subscribe to Millennium Rock. Here, we continue reliving together the moments that made classic rock great. Let's keep going. Number 7. Mull of Kintyre by Wings. Would you believe me if I told you that Paul McCartney released a song with Wings that outsold the Beatles' She Loves You? Released in 1977, Mull of Kintyre takes its name from a remote part of Scotland, where Paul has owned a farm since 1966. It is an ode to the cold ocean waves and the rugged yet green landscapes of the Scottish Highlands. According to Paul, the lyrics celebrate the place he fell in love with. The song reaches an epic peak when the bagpipes enter, giving it not only its unmistakably Scottish character, but also the grandeur it needed to become Wings' best-selling song. Something in the lyrics' gentle nostalgia resonated with Wings fans, and after selling more than 2 million copies, the single broke every Beatles sales record and became the best-selling single in British history at the time. In fact, as recently as 2012, it remained the 4th best-selling single in British history, just behind Bohemian Rhapsody. Neither Paul nor Denny Laine, his bandmate and co-writer, imagined that this modest song dedicated to such a remote place would become so successful. Yet it dominated the charts and the radio for years, surpassing 6 million copies sold worldwide. Number 6. Highway to Hell by AC/DC. The last great hit Bon Scott recorded with AC/DC was Highway to Hell. It opens the album with the dirty, distorted sound of Angus Young's guitar striking like a bolt of lightning, or a premonition. Bon Scott's gravelly voice, seasoned by 1,000 late nights in countless bars, adds speed, melody, and even more fuel to the fire. As the chorus approaches, the song swells with backing vocals until it becomes the battle cry of an entire generation. Although there is more than one version of the story, the idea of the Highway to Hell came from endless tours aboard sweltering buses across North America. Their punishing road schedule gave them no chance to stop, even when the weather turned brutal. And that was the Highway to Hell. For the recording, the band worked with producer Mutt Lange at London's Roundhouse Studios after a failed attempt to collaborate with Eddie Kramer, who had produced Hendrix and Zeppelin. It was Lange who polished the band's raw sound and added the details that transformed it into a stadium anthem. Highway to Hell surpassed 10 million records sold worldwide and became one of the signature songs of one of the greatest rock and roll bands in history. Number 5. My Sharona by The Knack. A heart struck by love can create magic, because when love is in the air, things happen. That is the story behind this worldwide hit by The Knack, which took them from obscurity to superstardom overnight. But let's rewind the tape. At 25, Doug Fieger, The Knack's singer and guitarist, happened to meet Sharona Alperin. The impact she had on him was so powerful that he began writing songs non-stop, and one of them was My Sharona. According to Fieger, he was experimenting with perspective and wrote it from the point of view of a 14-year-old boy. With Mike Chapman producing, they entered the studio in April 1979 and recorded it in a single take. According to those who were there, it took them 15 minutes to record, and another 15 minutes to mix, with no overdubs of any kind. My Sharona became a worldwide hit beyond even their wildest dreams. It not only spent 6 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, but also surpassed 10 million records sold around the world. Wherever it plays, it is an invitation to dance and toss your hair around. So don't be surprised if you catch yourself dancing in the supermarket aisles. Number 4, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. George Harrison was the first Beatle to score a Billboard #1 after the band broke up. It is a deeply spiritual song, perfectly suited to the most introspective member of the Fab Four. My Sweet Lord is a devotional song that weaves together prayers from several religions, seeking to move beyond sectarian divisions and envision them as one great movement of love. It was 1971, and the ideals of Woodstock, love, and peace still seemed within reach. My sweet Lord. The sessions for All Things Must Pass, Harrison's debut solo album, took place at Abbey Road Studios, using much of the same equipment the Beatles had used. In fact, John Lennon, Yoko Ono, Eric Clapton, and Peter Frampton were involved with the album's recording and frequently attended the sessions. The song connected with listeners on both an emotional and spiritual level, while producer Phil Spector's famous Wall of Sound wrapped its profound, moving message in an infectious, organic pop-rock song made for the radio. Really want to see you. And it certainly worked. My Sweet Lord spent 4 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and 5 weeks atop the UK charts, becoming a musical refuge for an entire generation. By 1978, the song had sold more than 5 million copies worldwide, and in the decades that followed, after its 2002 re-release, total sales surpassed 10 million copies. The legacy of the Beatles, both together and as solo artists, is immeasurable, and this song is yet another example of it. Number 3, You're the One That I Want, by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, or Danny and Sandy from Grease, captured the heart of an entire country. Yet judging this song's success only by the film's popularity would be unfair. You're the One That I Want was released before Grease reached the big screen. In fact, by the time the movie finally premiered, the song was already #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. In other words, the song did not need North America's most watched couple to reach the top. On the contrary, with that early momentum behind it, the movie went straight to #1 at the box office when it opened. And that is not all. Unlike the musical's other numbers, You're the One That I Want did not appear in the original stage production. It was written specifically for the film. A risky gamble that became a global triumph. At the time, Olivia Newton-John was already a music superstar with a previous Billboard #1, Have You Never Been Mellow, but she felt uncertain about acting. Travolta, meanwhile, was coming off the overwhelming success of Saturday Night Fever. Yet he was nervous about singing a duet with one of the era's most popular voices. And still, amid the nerves, glitter, and leather jackets, their chemistry exploded. The result was more than 15 million copies sold and a legacy that has not aged by a single note. Perhaps tomorrow you will catch yourself singing the chorus without even realizing it, because some songs are never forgotten. They remain there, bound to a memory, to an era, and to who we once were. Number 2, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Open your eyes. Bohemian Rhapsody is more than a showcase for Freddie Mercury's overflowing talent. Above all, it is a declaration of audacity. When he wrote it, he knew he had struck gold. But he also knew he would have to fight everyone to defend his vision. Who would dare release a 6-minute song with no chorus, beginning with layered harmonies and existential lyrics, only to suddenly transform into opera and end in an explosion of hard rock? Freddie did, and Queen bet on the impossible. They had to record 180 vocal takes to achieve that grandiose effect, with the Galileos and Fandangos sounding like a fevered symphony. For weeks, radio stations refused to play the song in full, until one station finally did, and then the public decided for itself. Art does not need permission to succeed. The result was an unstoppable phenomenon. #1 in the United Kingdom for 9 weeks, Queen's first top 10 hit in the United States, and more than 17 million copies sold worldwide. Beyond the records, however, Bohemian Rhapsody is something else entirely. It is that precise moment when a melancholy piano begins to play, and thousands of people in a stadium fall silent. It is the cry held inside that becomes an anthem, the impossible opera that generations ended up singing together. Because in the end, no car ride is complete without that moment when everyone sings, "So you think you can stone me?" And no memory can resist a shiver at the final piano notes, as though Freddie were whispering in our ears one last time before disappearing into the night. Now tell me, which of these songs takes you straight back to the days of your youth? Or is there another one missing from this list? Share it in the comments. We read them all. #1, Imagine by John Lennon.
You may say I'm a dreamer.
John Lennon built a studio called Ascot Sound Studios at his Tittenhurst Park home, where he lived from 1969 to 1971. It was there that the Beatles took their final photograph in August 1969. And it was also there that Lennon reconnected with his creative side and invited old friends to record with legendary producer Phil Spector. Those sessions gave birth to Imagine, a song inspired by Yoko Ono's book, Grapefruit. In fact, Yoko received a co-writing credit for the lyrics in 2017.
Hope someday you'll join us.
Lennon embraced the idea of imagining a world that does not yet exist in order to make it possible. Although Yoko's poems were surreal in tone, Lennon wanted to turn that vision into a powerful political message, wrapped in a song so irresistible and transcendent that it could carry the message across the entire planet. The result reflected what they had set out to achieve in those first sessions. Phil Spector told the press that, to him, Imagine was like a national anthem, and that was how he produced it, with exactly the right instrumentation to make it timeless and eternal. Imagine reached #3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and #1 in the United Kingdom, eventually surpassing 20 million copies sold worldwide. More than 200 artists have covered or performed it live, including David Bowie, Stevie Wonder, Lady Gaga, and Elton John, among many others.
Imagine all the people.
But Imagine is more than a song. It is a banner, a philosophy of life, and a way of seeing the world. John Lennon was an artist committed not only to his art, but also to changing the world through it. Lennon would tragically lose his life 9 years later, but this song remains with all of us as a testament to his revolutionary spirit, his talent, and his dedication. He wanted to change the world through his music, and perhaps he succeeded. The most remarkable thing is that while these songs ruled the world, other bands were just as talented, yet time left them behind. In the next video, you'll discover 13 bands that changed rock but nobody remembers. Click on the next video and let's continue this journey through rock history. I'll see you there, my rock-loving friend.